What's cracking, everybody? New video. Look at this guy. I'm trying to be tough right now, Papa. And here you come. Anyways, today's video is gonna deal with the violence of the California Youth Authority. We're gonna touch on it a little bit, right? Not everybody that went to the California Department of Corrections went through the California Youth Authority. And I keep telling you guys how devastating I think the California Youth Authority was, how I think that was one of the worst experiments, and it lasted a very long time. Nellis was around for, I think, over 100 years or something like that. And people know how violent the California prisons are, right? And I think that if you ask anyone who was in the Youth Authority and the CDC, the adult prisons, if you ask them, I would be willing to bet that 9 out of 10 of them, if not 10 out of 10, would say the Youth Authority was way more violent, way crazier, right? And I know a lot of people hearing that are going to be like, no, there's no way. But here's the difference. In the California Department of Corrections, there is extreme violence. You were more likely to be murdered in the California Department of Corrections than the California Youth Authority, right? But the difference is this. The Department of Corrections, the adult facilities, the prisons, they have organized violence. It is extremely rare when violence erupts without any side planning, okay? And that's gonna be one of those moments where something occurs on the yard nobody knew, somebody got into something and boom, then next thing you know, somebody's getting into it, their people are jumping, the other guy's people are gonna jump. And again, it's rare because people know if they get into it with somebody outside of their faction or their group, whatever it is, and they involve everyone else, it better be a good reason. You don't want your people to be flat-footed and going into battle, right? Whereas in the California Youth Authority, it was disorganized violence. It was violence every single day. See, the California Department of Corrections, the adult institutions, they may have something every week or so, right? But it's not every single day. You get put on lockdown. In the California Youth Authority, you're in a dorm. What they gonna lock down? And people were, these were hurt kids that were bent on hurting people. I've said it before, I've said it a bunch of times, hurt people hurt people. Well, kids, they don't know how to connect the dots correctly. And, they really, when I was there, it was really about, I was one of them where it was like, staff was supposed to be crazy? Man, watch this. And so everybody was competing. In the California Youth Authority, if somebody says something you didn't like, you could bust them up. That's not going to happen in the adult system, especially within your own people. You're not going to be able to do that. That has to be sanctioned. A lot of things have to go down that we're not going to get into. Youth Authority, nah. And then you might, you guys have heard when other people have talked about the ramflans, the cars in Y.A. It's different. It's not your area. It's your homies that you kick it with. And you could be from San Bernardino and you kick it with 2 dudes from LA, 3 dudes from San Diego, and a dude from Ventura County. And that's your car. And you guys are gonna back each other up. Somebody messes with somebody in your car may decide, man, let's rush their car. But you guys are all from Southern California, raza from Southern California. Staff were assaulted on a regular basis. I wanted to tell you this one of the things that made me think of the violence. Trip out on this. So here's a story. There was this black dude on my dorm, man. I was on Nipomo, right? This black dude was huge, man. But he was cool. He wasn't like, didn't try to bully with his size or nothing. But I mean, this dude, he looked like he was 30 years old, man. He looked like a grown ass man, huge dude. And they were running showers, right? And his shower group had went and they were coming back. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he said. I don't know what happened. But as he was walking past my bunk, the cop that was sitting on the YC station, which is the counselor station in the dorm, right? He tells the black dude, and I wish I knew his name so I wouldn't have to refer to him as the black dude. But he tells the black guy, I'm writing you up. And the black guy tells him, you can write me up all you want, just don't give me 3 EPs. I don't give a fuck, right? Now, EPs meant early program, right? Where when everybody gets to go to the yard in the day room, all the troublemakers that got write-ups and got EPs, we have to go into the dorm, and they closed what's called the riot gate, and we're stuck in the dorm. We don't get to program. We don't get to go watch TV, play handball, nothing. We have to stay on our bunk. Can't even open our locker. You get to open your locker one time. That's to get out your writing materials or whatever you need, and then you're just sitting on your bunk. That's it. The only way you're getting off that bunk is if you have to use a bathroom, right? So that guy says, again, he says, I don't care about a write-up, but you better not give me 3 EPs, right? And he goes to his bed, and he's putting his hygiene on and getting dressed, and the counselor starts writing on the window, because when you get EPs, so they'll write names with like a grease pencil, right? And they'll write the person's name, and then if you already have EPs, they add, and it's always 3 EPs. So they'll add it. So if you have 6, boom, now you're at 9. You're 9, you're at 12, 15, you're at 18, whatever it is. So he starts writing on the window with the grease pencil, excuse me. And right away, YA being what it is, other dudes that he was cool with, other blacks were like, say, homie, he's writing on that window. And the black guy says loud, I know you're not writing my name on that board with 3 EPs. He said, you better be taking EPs off if you're writing anything on my name, this and that. So he's going on one and he's telling them, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go look at what you just wrote. And there better not be EPs. And the cop sits back down like he was hard, right? I know his name. I just don't want to say his name because I don't know, if he could, do something about me saying his name. But he was like a pretty boy white cop, right? Long hair, and he was a trip. And the black dude was taking his time. Like, he was laughing about it. Like, I know if you wrote anything up there about me, you better take it down by the time I get over there. And, we're all troublemaking kids. So we're like, oh, yeah, check this. This is going to be good. Why it being what it is, you know what's going to happen. So the cop is acting like, I'm not tripping on him, whatever. Next group, next shower group, go. Next group, right? And the black guy's just laughing like, this fool thinks I'm playing. He gets up and he starts walking towards the office. And the cop's sitting in the office and he's like, hey, you better get back on your bunk. And the black guy keeps coming. He's like, I'm telling you, there better not be no EPs on that window for me. The cop gets up and like stands by the door. And he's like, hey, take it back to your bunk. And the black dude's like, man. So he goes up to the office and he goes in his face and he goes, did you give me any EPs? And he goes, I gave you 3 EPs. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, bop, bop. He hit him with the first punch, boom. And oh my God, that cop never heard the end of it. You know what we was always saying when we see him? Oh my God. Because that's exactly what he said and exactly how he sounded. Oh my God. He socked him, boom. He fell he got lucky. He fell back into his chair. I'm lucky or unlucky, I don't know. He fell into his chair and he tried to just ball up, right? He thought it was a nuclear attack, earthquake or something. You know how they used to say stop, drop, and get under the desk or something? That's what he tried to do. Hey, that dude went in and he was laughing the whole time, just socking him, boom, 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 boom. When it was done, they came in, they sprayed, got him off of him, and he told him, fuck your EPs, right? But he had blood coming out of his ear, like the back of his head was bleeding. And, you know, it was one of those things where, unfortunately, nobody in the dorm was shocked. That was the California Youth Authority. And there would be cops that you would tell them, hey, what's up? You think you're hard? Let's get down. They'd say, let's go. And they would get down with you. Grown men fighting 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. It was such a brutal environment, so messed up that I'm glad it's shutting down. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than you guys need to be here. I just want to make sure that I put out a video for you guys today. Hopefully you liked the video. Thank you guys, everybody that was on the live last night. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching, for supporting, however you supported. We all appreciate it on the panel. Everybody, please stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.